Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We have a list of 16 properties, and 6 of them are taking offers on May 16th. And there's another, I think, 3 or 4 that are holding back on offers. So it's become a real common strategy. And I talked about, I believe in yesterday's episode, about how there may be some indications that things are changing. So be interesting to see what happens. Next week, we should have a good read on how the market's doing compared to how it's been doing over the last month or so. So we have a place coming up at 6020 Dairy Townhouse. The one that we're bringing out is a little bit bigger than this one. It's an end unit, also backs onto a ravine. You're going to see that the way we present is a lot different than this. It's a nicer looking home too. But anyway, this one's been for sale for a while, and that is not a power color for the floors. I understand that the stairs are a lighter color. There's still a better color for flooring than that one there. It is hard to sell a vacant house because you tend to notice all the flaws, and you even notice things like a toilet brush, whereas if there's other things going on, you'll get those. I understand the camera angle probably doesn't want to show the camera, so that's why they're down low, but it does kind of look a little dreary when bathroom shots are taken too low. Another photo angle that I think would have looked better is this one here. You've now got, I don't even know what that is, some kind of a stain. The ravine is the selling feature. You go past that, I would have taken that shot with the railing almost being in the bottom of the shot and then just showing the beautiful ravine there. And same thing with this one. There's a piece of crap here, and you know, anyway, it's just like clearing out the weeds. So those little things make a big difference, and you don't think they do until you sit on the market for months. We were all saying here at the office that Cargill Path will not end up being $469 when it does sell. This model has even gone for more than $500, so expect the first digit to be a 5 if it's in good shape. And there was a situation that just happened recently. By the way, that's a cool toy collection. That's Metroplex, by the way. Yes, I nerd out with toys. Anyway, there was a home about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago that sold. Really nice, 509. We just saw a horrible condition, same home, sell for 511. Sometimes that's what can happen, is that you can find a really good sale followed by a not so good sale that jumps on the shoulders of that one. We've even seen it happen with us. We sold a home for a record price. The neighbor wasn't as nice, and they sold for more to the buyer who lost on the bids on the place that we were selling. So anyway, that's 2016 for you. It's very interesting. Now this one on Joyce is offering an interesting strategy that you don't see very often. $519 is the price, which is pretty attractive for Dorset Park right now. Last year, $519 would have got you a half decent home, but now what you're getting is a home you can only make, or you can only see the inside of the home after making an offer. So you would have to make an offer just based on what you see and based on these blurry 6 photos, and you would have to say it's conditional on me liking the home. So I don't see a lot of people really digging that. And the other thing that could hold them back is right over here, baseboard electric heat. That tends to drop the price down on these homes, even though there are some advantages to electric heat. And we need a soundtrack song for that one. You gotta know it. It's electric. Boogie, boogie, boogie. All right, so we have an as-is home, but at least you can come in and see this one on Babcock Crescent, $550. Now, interesting, they listed it $549.9, and they moved it up to $550. So they raised it by $100 because, well, I think there's an advantage to that. I guess they saw that too. They're saying many times in the description that it's even in the broker comments, that it's 100,000 less than a recent sale. That's true. For 1,900 square feet in decent shape, detached single car garage, $650 is not totally unreasonable. Now, could you spend 100,000 in this home and make it better than a $650? Probably. Like, there's a lot of upside on something like this if you get it for the right price. The outside is not the prettiest. Siding, a lot of people just say, well, I don't like siding. If it's presented well, I think that a siding home can look really, really good. painting the garage, maybe even painting the siding, bringing out the trim colors. There are ways to really enhance the curb appeal. You know, it needs a bit of work inside. Even things like having the broom beside the fridge, they show up in photos. So even the most experienced sellers, I still say to them things like, you got to wrap your cords up, you got to take things out from beside the fridge magnets, those little things that tend to sabotage pictures. Anyway, for the right price, I think this one could be good. And detached at $550. I mean, townhouses are selling for $550, so there's definitely some distinct advantages with this one. Frobisher gets pick of the day, although it may sell for more. They're taking offers, I think, on this one on the 16th. And they've used the classic trick of spraying the driveway with water before taking photos to make it appear shiny. That's obviously a big selling feature, 50 by 120 foot lot and a decent looking kitchen too, with the ceiling effect in the family room. So the presentation's good. There's a real thirst to buy in this area right now because of those nice big lots. We see a lot of townhouse sellers in the new area. They go to the old part and they look for a home like this. It's a good one. And the next best thing to a double car garage, as we've talked about many times, is having 2-car wide parking in the driveway. This one will sell with a 6 in the first digit. I can guarantee it. 830 4th line, 659.9. Perfect example, 1820 square feet. It does have a finished basement, but compare this to something like Babcock, 100,000 difference. And it wouldn't take 100,000 to turn Babcock into something like this. Obviously, there's a different curb appeal, but 4th line is a busier street, and they're not that far off on price on this one here too. And the complaint on this model is that you've got very little closet space upstairs, especially in the master bedroom, and the ensuite's a little bit small. There's your finished basement there. It looks like there's a little bit of finishing still left to do. And there we go, that's the home. So the part that made me laugh was it's a raved out floor plan. Raved out. So Langholm was taking offers at $750, didn't get what they liked, moved it up to $779. I still think it makes sense at $779. 2356 square feet. And you've got your hardwood on the main level. You've got a nice open concept kitchen. And so even little things like, and people don't pay attention to this, but if you look at the way this photo's composed, it's to be able to see, a lot of times what you see is the windows outside are overexposed and the kitchen, so this looks fine, but then there's nothing that you can see out the windows. And if you look at the way this one, you can see all the details through the windows. That's a really expensive camera, and it's subtle, but it does make a difference in the presentation. Anyway, for the size of this home, for having that nice huge space right here, for having the forest behind, it makes a lot of sense. I still think this is a good deal, even though $750 didn't work for them. So this one's 100 square feet bigger for obviously a lot more money, different size lot and everything else. They don't really make 46-foot lots anymore, but Tonelli Lane, $849, $999. For $1 more, they could have been at $850 and double exposed. Stone and stucco elevation. Now look at the difference here. These are both quote-unquote professional photos, but that's dark. With the right camera and the right flash and lighting and everything else, this room could light up. And so the pictures are dark. The home actually looks really good, but there are photographers that will flash over here, do it on a remote, and light up the whole house. Also, opening the curtains would have been a good thing. Anyway, I just see that even though these are professional photos, there are differences. There's subtle differences in quality. Even here, very dark around the edges of that photo. I think it looks good. Obviously, they've spent money on this home, and but I wouldn't call it a deal. I would call it something that, hey, for the right buyer, and if it looks good in person, they might have a shot at it. A couple homes in today's list, it says June 21st or July 4th was another one, I think, on Frobisher. When a seller puts that date in, or when the agent puts that date in, it has meaning to a seller. So if you're able to accommodate that date, you might have some leverage on another part of your offer, maybe an inclusion, maybe price-wise. Obviously, that depends on the competition you're up against, but it certainly makes them happy when you put that in and you try and utilize that to your advantage. Okay, Winter Crescent. We actually have the same model on Winter Crescent. I've talked about it, I think, once or twice in the episodes, coming out soon, and it is spectacular inside. The one that we're bringing out is head-turning, already featured in magazines and videos for the interior design. This one isn't quite at that level finish-wise, but it's still very, very nice. I don't want to take anything away from this. You also have a pool in the backyard, plus you've got grass. Sometimes with these yards, you only get pool and that's it. These are the largest lots that Mattamy put out. 50 feet by 100 is the standard. This one's 54.78 by the measurement. So anyway, granite countertops, just, you know, well finished, good lighting on these photos. That's how you light a home. If that Huxley model had lighting like on Tonelli, if it had lighting like this, it would be completely different. Your impression of that home would change immensely. So Winter Crescent's great. You know, you get a bit of traffic going to pick up and drop off kids at Hawthorne Village Public School, and there's a little pathway going down to the school. So you do get some cars in the morning and in the evening on the street. So there we go, folks. Hope you enjoyed the episode. There's some really nice homes, and remember, rave on.